just because someone will have sex with you, that they want to be with you. Is the average woman, the average girl. And she knows that she's got to go work and make money. So this is where your attorneys, your doctors, your lawyers, your finance people, this is where your go-getter, ambitious women come from. Age, children, excessive mileage of all types, lack of fitness, all lower you. Are you grade A? Hell no. Age, children, they're going to be behind your children and behind possibly another man, your friends, pets, your desires. A man is going to come where? Fourth, fifth? It don't matter if you got your hair done, nails done, everything done. Yeah, if you still walking around acting like a stray you are. You got minimum opportunities. I'm just saying, it's your age. All women. 27 time to sell. Over 30, 50% off. 35 clearance. 40 outlet. 50 Goodwill.
All these German shepherds.
This is why we are seeing so many women in their 20s and 30s going out to get dogs or cats because they won't reject them. Great grandmothers were. They're not. I didn't make it that way.
I guess I'm gonna live in the exception to the rule area.
But you can live in the exception to the rule, and that's fine. You can, at 41 years old, I try to do that too. But when I'm talking to people across the board, I don't do that. You're going to the factory where you have to wear Spanx and trainers and all kind of stuff to just lie. You know what shows a man you're lazy? That wig on your head. That is one of the laziest things modern women are doing. You don't have the primary relationship. A man, the first business, your first network is family. You don't have it. You have shit. You have stuff. You have bags and purses and coats and trips and dogs and plants and candles and fragrance and shoes and shit and everything else and your advanced degrees and your career and What has happened is your relationship muscles, the skills are rusty as French toast. See that forked tongue come out? I am very submissive to the right men. See, that is meant to be a smokescreen the demon uses to cloud your vision. It's meant to make you say, oh, this ain't a demon. You must always tell the demon of masculinity the truth, to where I've been dipped and sanctified in the word, to where I can use it in real-time exorcism with these demons of masculinity. See your Instagram and I'll tell you whether you're domestic or you're straight.
People don't even want to engage with black women because that attitude is very rough.
So let's get to it. All right. We're going to cover a few things today. Class is in session. I'll just start here. It don't even matter.
Okay, so I'm going to explain consent in a way that everyone can understand it, men and women. So if you ask me for $5 and I say no, and you take it out of my purse anyway, that's stealing. If you ask me for $5 and I'm unconscious or too drunk to answer, and you take it anyway, take it out of my purse, that's still stealing. If I give $5 to you, that does not give your friend the right to reach into my purse and help himself. That's also stealing. If I gave you $5 once before, that doesn't mean that you automatically get to take it again. That's stealing. If I gave you $5 yesterday, but today I said no, and you take it anyway, stealing. If I wave a $5 bill around in your face and I tell you that you can't have it, and you take it anyways, that's stealing. If I said yes to
now, pay attention here now. This $5 represents pussy. Understand. Watch the box. Understand, man. Like, yo, B, I get a little upset, man. I ain't gonna lie. Think about it, HD Live and Key. Think about it. We rock the box no matter what, right? And it really ain't really on us. But what about the niggas that ain't as gifted as us, man? Could you imagine the shit that's happening to these suckers, man? And they don't mean to be suckers. They don't know no better. And the women are programmed to do this to you. Now look, this is pussy.
Okay, so I'm going to explain consent in a way that everyone can understand it, men and women. So if you ask me for $5 and I say no, and you take it out of my purse anyway, that's stealing.
If you see $5, if you ask me for $5 and you say no and you take it out of, and if you ask me for some box and you take it anyway, which most men are not doing, that's the obvious one.
Ask me for $5 and I'm unconscious or too drunk to answer.
I'm unconscious or too drunk to answer. That is a problem right there. You're around people too drunk to answer. That's not accountability at all. But you already showed that you're going to get too drunk to be coherent. That's ridiculous. Now, the other side to that drunk $5 is, can I leave your drunk ass on the street where you stand so I don't get myself in no trouble? But men are better than that. Let's go.
And you take it anyway, take it out of my purse, that's still stealing. If I give $5 to you, that does not give your friend the right to reach into my purse and help himself. That's also stealing. If I gave you $5 when...
That's why I tell you niggas, think about it, fellas. What if we operated what if you see the way women operate with this box when we're going to go through it today? Imagine we operated with the same systemic programming with the Pussycat Facts report. Think about how fucked up they would be.
Before, that doesn't mean that you automatically get to take it again. That's stealing. If I get...
Stop the show. HD Live said the Pussycat Facts report saved his life. HD Live, please, if you don't even mind, text us. Text us, what do you mean? We got to give these testimonials, King. Dolomite, what's good? I'm ready to take that cat facts on the offensive. Hey, you know how we do. You know I'm the roughest. You know you're the roughest. But we're also saints, and it's so wild. When we got this Pussycat Facts report, we know we're dealing with an automatic weapon. It doesn't stop shooting unless we release the trigger, right? And we just ain't gonna go around being offensive, but that is our option, King. Bernie was a great case study example how effective the cat facts is on hostile grounds with a high-level gladiator with a lot of money and influence, because we wash out the money. So I guess you call it, we equalize the money, we balance it out. Because people always say, I even heard Angry Man say, people talk about how, no, health in a woman's regard is different from, oh, I ain't rich, but I got my health. I understand what he meant, but health in a woman's regard is different. It's what we love. We love to fuck the box. So we can't even get that. But we also got to deal with box on this level. Like, what?
I gave you $5 yesterday, but today I said no, and you take it anyway? Stealing. If I wave a $5 bill around in your face and I tell you that you can't have it, and you take it anyways?
If I wave my pussy, not me, if she waves her pussy around in your face and say, you can't have it, you can't have it. Like we said before, why would you get drunk out of control? And why would you wave pussy in somebody's face saying you can't have it, you can't have it? But as men, the Pussycat Facts report is personal, right? I'm just trying to let you know what this pussy is about, man.
That's stealing. If I said yes to $5 and then changed my mind before you grabbed it and you...
If I said yes, you could make love to me, but before you get into it, I say no.
That's stealing. If I said yes to $5 and then changed my mind before you grabbed it and you grabbed it anyway.
Yo, Bernie, we're gonna do a separate live stream on that. Bernie, he did it, man. One thing that that made all of us proud. It ain't about me. We saw the Pussycat Facts, our knowledge and our education that we are doing together, our classes, perform in the real world where other men were like, yo, that dude is shooting darts. That's all I've been trying to tell you guys. You guys have not understood. No, we have darts. They could never outfox us when it came to this sex stuff. But what had happened was men have, like I said before, it's nothing wrong with men getting their bag. We just didn't have the other side of the story because, like you say, most men can't tell this story. And then you see how men identify with what Bernie was talking about, right? So they know a little bit. But like I say, you could know about all of these conditions of the box, but never to see it, how it's used in practice, the sinisterism, the evilness. And you would say, well, damn, you sick. Why you acting like that? Just the programming. Ain't even her fault.
That's not confusion. That's theft. If I'm asleep and you take $5 from my purse, we don't say, well, she didn't say no. We say, dude, that's stealing. And if I'm carrying my purse in public, that's not an invitation for anyone to just reach into it. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing, how I walk, or where I actually am. That purse is still mine. If I flirt with you, that doesn't mean you earned $5. It means I flirted. That's it. And if you really wanted the $5 and you felt really entitled to the $5 and you think you deserve the $5, but I didn't give it to you, you still don't get to take it. If I give everyone in the room $5 except for you and you take it anyways, that's still stealing. See, the problem isn't that men don't understand consent. The problem is that they value the $5 more than they value a woman's body.
What did I teach you niggas? You value the pussy more than you value the health of the woman. I told you that, but not the way she's saying it. I'm saying it where you can have the advantage, player. Because me and her, we're saying the same thing, but she's talking from a woman's standpoint. No.
The problem is they value the $5 more than they value a woman's body.
That is true. And they are using that against you guys. You see what I'm saying? I keep telling y'all, you don't want to believe me. She will fuck you in discomfort. You get up, you're sweating. Yo, bro, you just had a session. That bitch fucks you in discomfort. You had a quick session. You had a non-fulfilling session. That bitch fucked you in discomfort. So many things that you will never know unless a real pro is out here helping. Because you've seen it. You've experienced it, but you gave the bitch the benefit of the doubt. And what Jap tell you, I'm gonna clip that Jap shit. Doubt the benefit of the bitch.
You would never defend a guy who took money out of someone's purse because he was confused. So why do you defend a guy who violates a woman's body and then claim, well, it was confusing?
All right, we're going to move on. Bernie had pimped Kendra G into giving her female audience a Cat Facts pussy public announcement, right? Public service announcement. And she didn't even know it. I agree. I never heard Kendra to tell people, yo, women, understand, clean yourself, wash 2 times a day, check your GYN, OB. She was going off. And because I'm going to tell you, it's in her heart. It's in her heart to actually bring out that. But it's embarrassing because it's a miniature eggplant. You can be clowned. You can be clowned. Men have been living their lives up to me coming out with this shit. I'm taking all the credit. And don't forget Dolomite. Men have never known they have had feelings within themselves like, yo, this bitch fucking me wrong, misfucking me, doing all this shit. I'm hearing this information, never understanding what it really, really is. Nah, these bitches are worse than you thought. Hold on 1 second. I just want to get this consent stuff out for you guys.
Consent is not just a buzzword. It is the foundation of respectful relationships. It means getting a clear and enthusiastic yes from all parties involved. It's like a collaboration where
now, when we start talking about consent of the box, this is something that you guys may not have been aware of. That's why I'm here. Do you know that they say when you're dealing with consent, it's not about yes or no. You'll hear this common term, which is called an enthusiastic yes. So consent is an enthusiastic yes, except if she had at least one drink. Because that's what Just Pearly Things did to her gym teacher.
it means getting a clear and enthusiastic yes from all parties involved. Consent is not just a buzzword. It is the foundation of respectful relationships. It means getting a clear and enthusiastic yes from all parties involved. It's like
now, what does the Prince has to say about that? What I'm gonna say about that is a clear and enthusiastic yes is a woman coming up saying, yo, homeboy, I think it's time to make love. That's a clear and enthusiastic yes. Will women do that? I asked the chat room. Will women, every time they have sex, come up to the man and say, yo, it is time for us to do this? So a clear, enthusiastic yes, how do you get there? How do you get there? That means the man got to do this, do that, and say, yo, can I fuck you? And that bitch be like, hell yeah. Whatever.
collaboration where everybody's boundaries and comfort levels are respected. Whether it's in the bedroom, at work, or in everyday encounters, consent is about communication, empathy, and mutual respect. And here's the deal. Consent can be given and it can be taken away. No.
Stop the show. Black man, you're dealing with bitches that need a pussycat facts report ran on them talking to you like this. Consent for my pussy can be giveth and taketh away. Okay? So, black man, we talking about arming ourselves. Pussycat facts report. The consent to cheat on you and never have any regard for you is based on my pussycat facts report that I have on you. You have a high pussycat facts report. I reserve the right to not be in a long-term relationship with you. You are not the healthiest pussy that I could find on the market. You are not the best pussy I could find. Don't matter how you look. See, but once men will get this sort of programming that they have, they believe they're better than you. Your eggplant is nothing in comparison to their box. With all the fouls that it has been called on. You know, we done call fouls on this box all day and night, and they still believe that. You have to get programmed, black man. HD Live, I see you, King. I asked the chick last week, do she get cramps for no reason? She started to say yes, then stopped mid-sentence. I instantly knew why. She just finished by saying they're not that bad. And that's the power. See, y'all might think that comment is stupid. That man is out there realizing the Pussycat Facts report is a sensitive topic because people are trying to lie and hide. So once you start talking about that, she starts to either tiptoe or want to fight. Okay? So he realized she stopped mid-sentence. And he sat there and said to himself, like you say, when you have a weapon of mass destruction or protection, you can be overt or covert. It's on you, your choice. I never tell brothers how to use the Pussycat Facts report. Do what thou wilt. Oh, man. I done turned on Apple Music. Hold on, man.
Questions asked. It's an ongoing, ever relevant part of our daily life. Here are 10 things that are not consent. Silence. Silence does not equal consent.
See? You about to find out 10 rules that one bitch got with the pussy. Some of them are common to the others, and then other videos I'll show you, it's not common. They have their own rules. We have nothing. We have you brothers out here watching panels talking about, oh, that bitch ain't right. Oh, she got a high body count. And they're just not even understanding how they're numb to your talking points. They don't care if they got a high body count. They don't care if they don't listen or respect you. They don't, it's numb. It's mute. It's moot.
We seek verbal affirmation, lack of resistance. Just because somebody doesn't physically resist you doesn't mean that you are given consent. Previous consent, past consent does not mean ongoing, continual consent. Being
There you have it.
in a relationship, being in a relationship does not grant automatic consent to anybody.
Now, would you want to be in a relationship with that? But you guys always laugh at me. All you guys do is laugh at me when I say, yo, in the man auction contract, she must make love to you whenever you say. You think I'm acting stupid and you laugh at me. No, these are rules to help women do right, not by you, by themselves. They don't even know how to be selfish the right way.
Intoxication. Consent cannot be given if somebody's intoxicated or impaired or unconscious.
That's why do they say that? Consent cannot be given if you're intoxicated or impaired. Ma'am, can you come to me sober and enthusiastically say, yo, it's time to make love? Bitches don't operate like that. So you supposed to be a man to say, yo, boo, I'm about to have me some drinks, but you can't have none because that's going to fuck up consent. Brothers, I keep telling y'all, watch the box. They are fucking up the box. Not for us, for them. See, because the more our information gets out, they're going to realize, bitch, your box ain't shit. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? No, you can't drink around me. Like, no, you got to ask me for sex. Like, you're fucking it up for you because I'll go get with somebody who don't got to go through all that shit.
Using coercion, guilt, or emotional
while I'm fucking you.
pressure to obtain consent is not valid. Never assume. Never assume somebody's desires. Always ask for their explicit permission.
Always ask for their explicit permission. Brothers in the chat room, is there any woman coming up to you asking for your explicit permission and for you to give an enthusiastic yes for you to have consent to fuck, for them to get the consent to fuck you? So they're putting you in some shit that, like, obviously we don't live by this shit. We're black. But I'm going to show you some black girls as well, because they'll take these white bitches' rules and they want to drink. Bitch, okay, we don't want you to drink.
Consent under duress. Consent giving under unconscious. Anybody. Intoxication. Consent cannot be given if somebody's intoxicated or impaired or unconscious. Using coercion, guilt, or emotional pressure to obtain consent is not valid. Never assume. Never assume somebody's desires. Always ask for their explicit permission. Consent under duress. Consent giving under fear or threat is not valid. Nonverbal cues alone, while body language can provide cues, it should be complemented by verbal communication.
What does that mean? You and her are together. Her pussy is sopping wet. Her pussy is saying, yo, please fuck me. But they're telling you, you must not do that. Hey, to protect yourself, pay attention, man. We don't want to be caught out with no whack ass pussy. Come on, man.
Fear complacency. Just because somebody doesn't object doesn't mean that they're enthusiastically consenting.
What I tell you, enthusiastic consent. You'll learn that term. Class is in session.
So last night I was scrolling through TikTok and I came across this live where it was a bunch of men talking in the box. I was just trying to scroll past, but I heard one of them say women give nonverbal consent. Nonverbal consent? Now, me being curious, I stayed.
Stop the show. Stop the show, bitch. Stop the show. Okay. Brothers in the chat room, please do your best to answer. We understand that consent is not coming from the woman asking you for eggplant. So the consent comes from you asking the woman for box. Do they promote when you're trying to have sex with a woman, you ask her, Because a lot of times you be like, yo, what's up? I want to get this pussy. What's good? Right? So is there something different that I'm missing here? This shit is wild. You guys got to be careful.
That meant because I've heard of consent, I've just never heard of non-verbal consent. So
hold the fuck up. Hold on, King. So you telling me you are with a woman, right? Y'all went out, y'all kicking it. Clearly, the bitches like to drink. So you, let's say you don't drink, you buy the bitch something to drink or whatever. Let's talk about Kendra. Kendra drinks, right? And now she holds your hand. She holds your hand. You hug on her. You're kissing on her neck or whatever. And she pulls your shirt off. Is that nonverbal consent, or does she have to unbutton your pants? Which one is it? I'm just trying to tell you guys, this is the bullshit that our women are dealing with.
what exactly is nonverbal consent? And one of the men actually said that it's when a woman does not verbally say yes to having sex, but her body language is saying yes. And
so she gonna act stupid. So she gonna act stupid like the man is not feeling her pussy and her pussy is wet. See, this is the shit you're dealing with, bro. Her pussy's wet and she's trying to act dumbfounded.
But her body language is saying yes. And if she later on decides that she wasn't interested in sex, somehow that's a problem because she gave nonverbal yes. Is this making sense to anyone?
See that? See what happened to your sisters, bro? She's going to deny the fact that we can't put into the story that her pussy is soaking through her drawers. She's just trying to sit there and make it look like her and the guy was sitting there talking, and he didn't say, yo, can I get some pussy? And he just went on and did it because she raised her eyebrow. Come on, man. You're dealing with some sick shit out here, Kane.
Because it's damn sure is not making sense to me. Because let me make something very clear for those in the back who may not be aware of this. Consent is not a guessing game. Consent is not a vibe. Okay? Consent is definitely not.
Why would women describe themselves as a vibe? Because it don't mean shit. That's why. Because it don't mean shit.
Consent is not a vibe. Okay? Consent is definitely not reading between the lines. If someone doesn't utter the words yes, that means
Utter the words yes when he say, yo, can I have some of your pussy? Is that the right way to act? Or should he be getting you in the mood first? Which fucking stupid presentation should they put my brothers in? Y'all let me know.
if they don't open their mouth and say yes, you do not have consent. Period. There is no.
There you go, black man. What you want me to do? I'm just giving you shit about pussy. I'm letting you know you can make all the fucking money you want. You could be a clown. You could be thorough. You could be whatever you want, son. Watch that box.
Body language or non-verbal consent. That is ridiculous. And it's definitely not a thing. And the fact that you had grown men sitting on this live discussing this like it's a thing is very disturbing.
There you go, black man. You wanting to get pussy is very disturbing. Why do I say that? Because this is why I say shit is all bullshit to me. Can men have the right to sit around and the woman come up to him and say, yo, I'm ready to make love to you now? Can we get that more times than not? You know that ain't happening, brothers. You know that. Come on, man. Brothers, you know that ain't happening. 1 second. We got more. We're going to cook up a little bit.
I just want to preface this by saying that every single solitary thing I have learned about either of these two people has been entirely against my will. So truly, I am the victim in all of this. But I digress. Consent is a thing that either you have it or you don't. And moving that goalpost around to try to fit whatever narrative is at play is really dangerous, especially to men of color. For centuries, women have been happy to jump into bed with men of color only to later cry when things go south for one reason or another. And crazy enough, in text messages she released herself, she appears to be the sexually aggressive one. She quadruple texted him, got this dry-ass response that he's looking forward to seeing it, presumably later in person, I'm guessing, and she responded to that with an unsolicited half-naked picture. Not to mention, Lance very clearly, through her own admission, admitted that he was polyamorous. In what world does that equal exclusivity?
Hold on. Not that. Hold on, King. I had this other girl, man. Yo, brothers, man. And we're going to get to other stuff, but I need you to understand what do they believe of their box? Why do they believe that of their box? Because you don't know shit?
But something went horribly wrong.
Hold on. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it skips. Hopefully I find that girl again. Hold on. It's embarrassing, King.
As always, I encourage people to educate themselves on the spectrum of consent. Consent is not just enthusiastic consent. It's not just one thing. We teach you.
Have you ever heard of the term enthusiastic consent? Have you ever heard of that?
As always, I encourage people to educate themselves on the spectrum of consent. Consent is not just enthusiastic consent. It's not just one thing. We teach enthusiastic consent as like baby's first consent. Consent 101. Once we learn the basics of consent, then you can build upon that and understand that it's not just one thing. Consent is a wide variety of things that you...
Consent to get this pussy is a wide variety of things, brothers.
Can do. There's a wide variety of ways that you can say yes, because we don't live in a bubble. There's multiple contexts under which you may have SX. For instance, you can be with your partner, and maybe you're not thinking about SX. Maybe you're not really in the mood, but they, kind of get you in the mood a little bit, and you're like, you know what? I normally wouldn't feel like doing this right now, but I'm going to anyway. Why not? I'm going to go and have fun with my partner. Okay, that's not necessarily enthusiastic consent, but it is something that you are willing to do with your partner at that time, at that moment. And there's also other times where you're like, yes, I'm game, I'm ready, I'm going for it.
When the fuck is that? When the fuck is that? When are you coming up to the man? I mean, of course it happens, but I'm just saying, all the time, no.
That's enthusiastic consent. That's also a valid form of consent. Another form of consent is, well, I may not feel like having full-on penetrative SX.
Who the fuck does this woman think she is to have that over a man? She doesn't feel like having full penetrative SX. Well, that would pleasure him the most. Or you top him up.
Is, well, I may not feel like having full-on penetrative SX. Maybe I just want to give you an HJ, So I'm consenting, but I'm consenting with parameters. I'm consenting and saying, I don't want full-on SX. I want a different form of SX, or I'm willing to give you a different form of SX. Now, is that enthusiastic consent? No, not necessarily. It's still consent, but it's consent within boundaries. Now, if you can understand that those are different forms of consent, those all exist on the spectrum of consent, then why can't you conceptualize the type of consent that S workers do to perform the labor of S? Are you sure it's not just because you hate SWs or infantilize them and see them as people who cannot consent? And nobody is talking about those who are forced to do this under violent coercion. Like,
brothers, just understand the moral of the story. That nigga, what's good? Understand the moral of the story, and the point that I'm trying to make here is that Box is more powerful than you, black man. And yes, I know you believe that, but it ain't true. I can't let you do that, B. I can't let you do that. I'm what I'm illustrating is how they believe they are more just how are you more than me?
Hey everybody, let's talk.
They'll do that to you, player. That's why we went to the we went and attacked the box, because we was like, hold on.
So it's becoming more and more clear to me that a lot of men don't understand consent, which means
A lot of men don't understand consent. Black man, they talking about you. Like you a straight up dummy all over some pussy. And I attribute that to they believe you don't know about the pussy. They don't believe you know the wall that happens to the pussy, in particular black women. And that's what this is all about. That's why I do what I do, so I can let you understand, nah, this bitch going through this with her pussy, but she's also telling you about consent. Are you kidding me? Plain, what's good? Glad to have you here, player.
So it's becoming more and more clear to me that a lot of men don't understand consent, which means a lot of men have someone and probably have no idea that they've done it. In my situation, that's exactly what happened. He didn't think he did anything wrong. And I know a lot of other women who are in the exact same situation. So this is for men specifically. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you don't have to answer them out loud, but just answer them for yourself and be honest. Have you ever been in a sexual situation where the woman said, I feel uncomfortable, or I'm too tired, or maybe not today, or can you please stop?
Okay. So the question to answer your first question would be no. But the follow-up question would be, let's say a woman was tired. Explain to me the difference that her pussy would be if she was tired or not. Oh, she would throw it back some? I don't need you to. Your pussy, I don't need you to throw your pussy back. So by you being tired or not, how does that affect your pussy? What do you do extra with your pussy when you're not tired? Oh, you might stand up on it and ride it possibly? Okay, I'm good without that today. You being tired means nothing because it doesn't make your pussy any better. Okay? The only thing you being tired do will make you give up sloppy toppy.
Have you ever heard the woman said, I feel uncomfortable, or I'm too tired, or maybe not today, or can you please stop? Have you ever been in a situation where the woman seemed a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit hesitant and you felt that you had to kind of convince her? Have you ever been in a situation where initially she said no or wasn't too sure and you were able to change her mind successfully? The list can go on forever, but if you've been in any sort of those situations, you may have. So it's becoming more and more clear to me that a lot of men don't understand consent, which means a lot of men have.
There you have it, fellas. Bernie had me walking a little taller today. Yo, Plain. Yo, everybody giving Bernie his. Matter of fact, we might have to do that. Yo, Bernie, show up so we could review your video, and I'm gonna make a whole segment out of that. We got it. Yo, Bernie stole it. Exhausting. Thanks, but no thanks, man. But that's what I was saying, Platt. They're only making it bad for themselves. If your pussy come with all this, and then we get to know the other side of your pussy that you're not talking about. See, because they're all talking about like their pussy is the shit. See, that's why I bring what I bring forth to you guys. So you can know, first of all, consent. This pussy ain't even shit, homie. What is wrong with you?
So today is the last day in April. And if you didn't know, April is...
Bitch got music, man. Not. I don't know if it matters or not. Hold on, pimp.
The age of consent is 16 years old, and I want you to think really, really quick.
Hold on. Yo, it's I mean, I just want to I try to show you guys, look, this is what they think of their pussy versus your eggplant. Like, that is not something that I want you guys to ever believe that, you know, something is better than you. How?
So you guys know I'm not big on videos, which is why barely anything is posted. But so I just got out of a court hearing, hence the jacket. You will always see the same jacket. And I'm sitting there, and there's a bunch of people that are representing themselves, and the judge.
Green tea, King, green tea.
If you don't know what the term informed consent means, then you are putting your health at risk, period. Informed consent is the process in which a healthcare provider educates a patient about the risks.
She talking about something different. Hold on, pimp. I got other stuff cooking. I just wanted to get this out the way first. It's just wild.
If you don't take anything from this case, take this from it. Consent, consent, consent. Does she want to me? Does he want my coochie? Does he want something out of this? Or does he genuinely want to give me this sex? Consent, yes or no? Simple. You can save a lot of just by acknowledging if you want it or not. Or make.
Now, what do men want to do? What do men want to do to combat this stuff? All we want to do is video call you, bitch, not to try to, you know, revenge porn you. We're just trying to protect ourselves. And for the most part, sounds like the only thing that men can do to protect themselves is to video record you. Now, do you want us to video record you with us saying, yo, can I have your pussy? And you say yes? Or do you just want us to video record the sexual scenario where you're just saying yes with a natural motion and we make sure that the camera hears it? Why are you putting men under that sort of bullshit? Guys.
So I'm at a conference and I've been grappling with this idea of what if everyone were taught consent? What if parents were taught consent and taught their children consent? What if we ushered in this new generation who is knowledgeable and understands the basic principles of consent? What kind of world would we live in? What kind of world would our children be raised in if everybody understood consent?
Remember, King, these are the bitches that's hiding very important information from you. Don't get caught up, King. Don't get caught up in thinking that these are good people.
And that wakes me up in the middle of the night to go get something to drink. But I'm still going to the bathroom constantly. The second biggest problem I had was that I would wake up in the morning was just a lot of abdominal pain, and it would just be weird. My doctor gave me some like ways to rectify that didn't include medication. And some people might know what it is, but that was helping. But I was like, that's just not who I am every single morning. I went to the doctor and I was just like, listen, we need to do something about using the bathroom all the time. So she scheduled me with a specialist. This specialist scheduled me with getting an ultrasound done. And so I did the ultrasound at the same time he was testing me on medication. So he was like, test this medication for like 30 days.
Let's just stop right there. Now, getting consent. Now, I would like to ask this woman, should a man be able to get, like, what type of consent should a man get? Should he get the fact that your pussy been through changes and he asked to fuck you, or should he just fuck you not knowing your pussy been through changes?
See what it does for you. Well, it helped, but it didn't rectify the problem. And he was thinking it would rectify the problem because he just automatically diagnosed me with overactive bladder. So it eased the problem, but it was like I needed to take the medication literally every day. If I skipped a day, it was just insane. I started telling him, like, I don't even think it's just.
If I skipped a day of the medication that the doctor put me on because of my pussy, it was just insane. Is a man around her? Is a man involved in the shit that she's dealing with? No, it's just her and her pussy. Okay.
the medication.
Yo, this nigga's horrible. Yo, never take King Disagreeable's advice. The man is a horrible man. Not to the brothers, to my black sisters. I don't like that shit. King Disagreeable says, I can't watch these shows anymore. I was in the store earlier and I noticed the cashier had PCOS. What does that mean? Everybody wants to ask. How did he notice? The bitch had a beard. The bitch had hair growths in places that women don't normally get it. That man is a well-educated, informed man. He was at the store and noticed the cashier had PCOS. She had peach fuzz. She looked like she shaved. All sorts of different. She had hair on her chest. All sorts of shit. And that man said, yo, man, this fucking information is killing me. He said, I want to be ignorant again. That's fucked up.
I just think that it's just slowing it down, but not stopping it. So he boosted me to a higher medication. And when he boosted me to the higher medication, I'm testing myself on that one. Then I went to the ultrasound appointment and she discovered that I had fibroids. When this lady told me this, it was a technician and she was just very like impersonal with it. Like just going through the ultrasound, she was just like, oh, okay, so here are your fibroids. And I'm like, what fibroids?
Ma'am, you're a black woman. You don't understand. It runs in the blacks. Whites too, because we got their blood in us. But ma'am, it runs in you. Ma'am. Fuck you mean consent? Yo, King Disagreeable, that was a great story. Fuck what anybody else is telling you, King. That was a great story. And you have given me credit before with KB for my information going to the real world. We saw another example of my information going to the real world with Bernie. Bernie stole the show. Disagreeable, your eyes are open now, my guy. You can't unsee what you see and know now, killer. We got him, Dolomite. Son Wellback, what's good?
Like just going through the ultrasound, she was like,
matter of fact, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back for King Disagreeable and Son Wellback. Let's bring it back. We got a little bit of time. Let's bring it back. What am I missing here? Okay. Hold on. Seems like I'm doing it wrong now. Hold on. Let's bring it back for Sam Wellback and them guys. Yeah, these bitches are something else, brother. And I'm not talking about their character. I'm talking about the sinister behavior dealing with one thing. The only thing you give a damn about. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Here we go. I love the stories. My ex back in 2011 had PCOS and was in total denial. Facial stubble and everything. I dumped her. My lowest dating point. Praise Jesus. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to explain consent in a way that everyone can understand it, men and women. So if you ask me for $5 and I say no, and you take it out of my purse anyway, that's stealing. If you ask me for $5 and I'm unconscious or too drunk to answer and you take it anyway, take it out of my purse, that's still stealing. If I give $5 to you, that does not give your friend the right to reach into my purse and help himself. That's also stealing. If I gave you $5 once before, that doesn't mean that you automatically get to take it again. That's stealing. If I gave you $5 yesterday, but today I said no, and you take it anyway, stealing. If I wave a $5 bill around in your face and I tell you that you can't have it, and you take it anyways, that's stealing. If I said yes to $5 and then changed my mind before you grabbed it and you grabbed it anyway, that's not confusion, that's theft. If I'm asleep and you take $5 from my purse, we don't say, well, she didn't say no. We say, dude, that's stealing. And if I'm carrying my purse in public, that's not an invitation for anyone to just reach into it. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing, how I walk, or where I actually am. That purse is still mine. If I flirt with you, that doesn't mean you earn $5. It means I flirted. That's it. And if you really wanted the $5 and you felt really entitled to the $5 and you think you deserve the $5, but I didn't give it to you, you still don't get to take it. If I give everyone in the room $5 except for you and you take it anyways, that's still stealing. See, the problem isn't that men don't understand consent. The problem is they value the $5 more than they value a woman's body. You would never defend a guy who took money out of someone's purse because he was confused. So why do you defend a guy who violates a woman's body and then claim, well, it was confusing? Consent is not complicated. If it is not a very clear, sober, enthusiastic yes, it's a no. And if you take what isn't given, it's not a hookup, it's not a misunderstanding, and it's not a moment of weakness.
Let's go. Where was this other girl at? Hold on, pimp. That's what you guys need to know, man. Where's that white girl? All right, let's go. Let's move on. That's where we at, Well back. We at consent for the box.
If they, because I don't think drunk people can necessarily give consent.
But who's typically blamed in that situation?
The men.
Not anything to take back or reconsider unless there's proof or evidence that can be used to prove whether consent was attained or not.
I feel like they both took advantage of each other. It's a very sticky situation to talk on that. If they, because I don't think drunk people can necessarily give consent.
But who's typically blamed in that situation?
The men are the ones that tend to be blamed for it.
Why is that?
I'm not too sure. I think when men are more drunk, they're the ones that are more sexual, maybe.
Why are the consent laws targeting heterosexual men when the same situation in a gay couple wouldn't even be a crime?
What do you mean?
If two lesbian women or two gay men were both drunk and had sex, how would you know who took advantage of who?
I think they both took advantage of each other, really. It's just...
Well, right, but did we establish that in a heterosexual relationship, the man is more likely to be blamed just for being a man?
Yeah, it's hard, yeah.
So once again, why are the consent laws targeting heterosexual men when the same situation in a gay couple wouldn't even be a crime?
I think it's because society, we used to live in a very heterosexual men's society. I think that's why nowadays
expected
blame more on them, especially.
If women themselves often struggle to understand consent, why are men expected to understand it?
Because I don't think gender has anything to do with it. Like, no means no. It is just a human thing.
How is consent mutual if only one party holds the power to redefine the experience after the fact?
I think that whenever you are intimate with someone, it is a mutual thing. So if someone's not comfortable, you're just not comfortable.
Well, consent is mutual in the agreement, but then when it comes down to brass tacks, there is no written laws about sex, right? Yes, there are written laws about sex, but when it comes to face, it needs to have a clear conversation. I have no idea. I'm going to skip that one.
Would you say the ambiguity in consent laws tend to benefit one gender over the other, especially when men are typically the ones blamed?
Based on the history of the last thousands of years, you would need to ask all the men.
There you go, man. My thing is, whether you're talking about just hooking up, having a baby, long-term relationship, cheating on the bitch and making sure that bitch stand the fuck down, doing whatever you want as a man, it's always going to be based on this box. But you have not understood what could, how you could say, well, nah, sweetheart, look at how you have treated your pussy all these years. There's no way you could talk to me about where I've been. So you've never had that sort of weaponry. So I'm just showing you how bitches feel about their pussy. Fat, white, black, don't matter. They have been programmed to be against you with pussy. But they won't tell you what that pussy goes through and how you would be a delight to be in their lives. That's the point.
Ask them what?
Why do they hold all the power? Why aren't women allowed to have power? I mean, there are some cultures that have empowerment, rising kids. Well, yeah,
But I think once you've given something,
during, and consent something that can be withdrawn after it's given.
yes.
Is there a difference between withdrawing consent during and after the act?
That's harder. But I think once you've given something, you can have regret, but you can't really go back to giving consent.
You gave him consent. You can't put that on him. You told that person, not even him, you told that person yes. And then after the fact, you want to go and say, no, I didn't want to do this. I mean, that's kind of just like flipping the script. Because if you go tell somebody, if you go tell the police that, they're going to believe the girl, like, and then just automatically going to think it's going to be, you know, the whole other way around. And she didn't give consent.
Just trying to show you how it is with this pussy. Y'all know what we like over here.
Just regret.
You can say yes when you really want to say no, and I guess that's.
I don't think there's much of a difference. I haven't been in that situation, but I do think once you've given consent and you've gone through the act, it's done, it's and therefore anything felt afterwards is just regret.
You can say yes when you really want to say no, and I guess that's that there, but I don't think you can blame after giving consent.
If a woman can withdraw consent after sex, can a man withdraw consent after a woman is pregnant?
No.
Why not?
Well, you now have a baby in somebody else's body.
Because it takes two to tango, and you know what could have been a possibility, and that's a child.
If a man consents to sex, does that mean he's consenting to potentially becoming a father?
Yes.
If a woman consents to sex, does that mean she's consenting to potentially becoming a mother?
Yes, unless she's on birth control or you use a condom.
So why is the man often blamed for getting a woman pregnant, aka knocking her up, when it actually takes two people?
Anyway, let's go right here real quick, then move on. Just trying to show you how they believe the pussy is greater than what we have.
What it said is should be what it meant.
No, I think it should definitely have some, feeling behind it.
Why is consent more likely to be assumed to be no rather than yes?
Usually, people when they meet are drinking alcohol, so you assume no, and I would assume that they.
That doesn't mean you're
dating.
It's assumed no, which it should be, because just because you're in a relationship, that doesn't mean you own that person's body. You're not obligated to have sex with the other person.
If a woman wakes you with a surprise BJ, is that grape?
I don't know. I've never had that happen to me, but there is a possibility of that not being all right.
Since he's asleep, he hasn't given verbal consent, so is consent typically assumed?
I would think that consent would never be assumed in a perfect world.
Why are men expected to read body language, but still required to get verbal consent?
That's a tough one. That is, honestly, I think based on looks, unfortunately, in this world, yeah.
Can you be more specific? What does that mean?
Like, I don't know. I guess if you're attractive, maybe you don't need to ask for consent, or I don't know. I don't know. That one's hard.
So you think more attractive people are more likely to get away with?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
When it comes to sex, why is our culture?
All right. So we did that. I was just trying to make the point to you guys and to show you, look how they believe their pussy is. Like, this shit is crazy. But I like to show you this.
So it's like, oh, okay, so here are your fibroids. And I'm like, what fibroids? So that kind of threw me off with MUSC. Plus, I was asking her questions like, well, where are they located? Do you think this is the reason I'm using the restroom all the time? And she kind of got a little aggravated and was like, well,
I'm just a technician. You need to go back to the doctor so that they can read it for you.
So I was just like, okay, this ain't helping when you just told me I got damn fibroids and I didn't think I had fibroids. And I'm still, in my opinion, young. Like, I'm in my 30s and I might still want to have children. So I went back to him. That medication.
What did I teach y'all? I'm in my 30s and I might still want to have children. Living her whole life not wanting to have any fucking children. But now that her pussy has double crossed her because of everything she did with it. Ain't got to be sex. She still wants the option to have children. Is that somebody that is a fucking creep or not? But this is the person that wants you to have consent. It's a whole story. Just follow along.
I was just like, okay, this ain't helping when you just told me I got damn fibroids and I didn't think I had fibroids. And I'm still, in my opinion, young. Like, I'm in my 30s and I might still want to have children. So I went back to him. That medication was doing better and it kind of really stopped the issue to some degree. So he was like, okay, good. You just got to take this medication for the next 6 months to a year.
So she has a bad pussy. What do they always do, guys? Classes in session. They always start putting drugs into their bodies. Listen, you're going to get this work whether you like it or not, whether you hit the Cash App or not. You're going to get this work. You know this stuff already, King. You know everything she's talking about.
I'm in my 30s and I might still want to have children. So I went back to him. That medication was doing better and it kind of really stopped the issue to some degree. So he was like, okay, good. You just got to take this medication for the next 6 months to a year and it should like reset. He literally said, reset your bladder. And I was like, okay, what if it doesn't reset my bladder? He's like, then you have to take it for the rest of your life. I was like, I feel too young to have overactive bladder. And he's like, oh, well, it happens from the age of 30 to 90. You know, he was cool, but he was kind of insensitive too. Plus, he was a male. And I'm like, I don't even think you understand what this is like for me. I was having so many issues in the morning, like it was causing me to not be able to get going with work as early in the morning. So I shared it with my VP, and she told me that I should try going to an African-American doctor. She used to work for a place that was like clinical research, I believe. And they discovered that there's a gap in treatment with someone who's not an African-American race. One of African-American is presenting problems, which I totally agree, because I think that the first thing is that an African-American doctor would know immediately that if an African-American sister, primarily somebody who doesn't have any issues, I'm super active, I am running all the time, I'm exercising all the time.
Pay attention. I'm running all the time, I'm exercising, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, Lord. Because she's basically begging on the Lord right now. Think about it. She's doing everything she has to do in life. But something ain't jiving the right way. What could it be? What could it be?
I eat pretty good. You know, if I'm coming to the doctor about something, it's got to be a problem. You know, typically African-American sisters, we don't just run up in the doctor's office, right? Found 2 African-American doctors, went to schedule myself with both of them, found out that my girlfriend from college worked at one. So I was like, okay, cool. And so what I'm sharing with you guys is what my visits went like. I ended up having to do like 2 different visits where I went in one day and then went back the next day for the ultrasound and then talked to the doctor again. So I talked to the doctor before. Through this whole thing, you guys will see that I went to get the ultrasound done and everything, but you'll see I discovered some things. So let's watch this for a little bit. First of all, I have to tell y'all that this office was just bomb. Oh my God, I walked in, I was like, this ain't your traditional doctor's office. Damn sure ain't no MUSC doctor's office. And so it's just so nice. I really like the decor. I really like the staff. I really like everything in the office. So come on, y'all, I'm gonna take y'all on this journey with me. And so you guys will be along with me on my fibroid journey. Oh my God, I love this place. Like, it's just so, just love it. So I'm gonna see what the doctor says when I'm trying not to be nervous. And so I hope y'all, I just want to get with them. I think somebody coming in, so keep y'all posted. To a doctor that looked like me, talked like me, had the same jokes as me, like ain't nothing like seeing a Black sister thrive. But I just wanted to give y'all a bit like an update of what she examined. So we're gonna go back tomorrow to do an ultrasound, because I did one at my original doctor at MUSC, but we want to compare those, and I'm nervous that I need another one. So she's going to do another ultrasound. She did a physical examination of my pelvic area and realized that one of my fibroids, if not all of them, we don't know until we do the ultrasound, is like little.
Stop the show. So she has more than one. Okay. We don't know if she has a man or not. She's at home alone or whatever. Nobody there to back her up. You understand?
Literally on my.
Stop the show. What the guy said. Let me guess. You ignored all the signs for years and years. In the morning, what did you mean? I beg your pardon. Right. Every morning she's waking up fucked up. And until she couldn't go to work and be an independent bitch, she went to the doctor. See, it's deeper than this pussy, but it starts and it ends with this pussy. Son, well back. Go ahead.
My bladder. So that's why I've been having a bladder issue. Don't know why I went to 2 doctors and they didn't realize that. And maybe it just grew over time, but we'll find out tomorrow. I was going to like compare Dr. Gleaton with another African-American doctor here in Charleston, along with comparing with what I had at MUSC. But I love Dr. Gleaton so much. I feel like I should just change doctors and go from MUSC to Dr. Gleaton. But we shall see. So
what have we learned? They go through doctors and doctors and doctors. Why, Prince? To try to fix this pussy. What you mean, Prince? To fix it fast. So they neglect it for years, but they want a fast fix. That's why they'll do drugs and they'll do anything that these doctors say. Pay attention to this pussy and you'll understand what the Black woman is. And any woman.
But I love Dr. Gleaton so much. I feel like I should just change doctors and go from MUSC to Dr. Gleaton. But we shall see. So I just wanted to give y'all a quick update. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. This isn't an easy journey. The pain that I feel like in the morning time or when my bladder gets full or, you know, so many times throughout the day, it's just, it ain't cool.
So many times out the day, my pussy area ain't cool. But I want you men to get consent. And I want you to get consent because you don't know my pussy ain't cool. I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys.
Or my bladder gets full, or so many times throughout the day, it ain't cool. I'm nervous. I have friends who have had fibroids like grow. I have family members.
I have friends, I have family members. What have you learned? Anytime you hear this hereditary, anytime you hear this, it's not just her. So then we start to say, well, damn, what's the percentage of Black women that's dealing with this? It'll knock your top off.
I feel like in the morning time, or when my bladder gets full, or, so many times throughout the day, it ain't cool. I'm nervous. I have friends who have had fibroids like grow. I have family members too. I know people who can't have kids because of them.
Hello? What have you learned? I know people that can't have kids because of them. Now, do they tell the man before they get with him? What have you learned? Hell no. You understand me? I bet she thinks she looks good. That's why KS said you can't use 7. Ma'am, you are below average. Take what you can get. Has she talked about how early she saw the OBGYN instead of a general physician? They always talk about general physicians. They never say OBGYN. I'm going to tell you that. Only rarely. That's when they really fucked up or they had a regular. That's what I thought. Taking healthy, fertile box for granted. Black women are taking healthy, fertile box for granted.
Amen. The stuff I'm telling y'all, my family doesn't even know. I don't really talk about it.
The stuff I'm telling y'all, my family don't even know. So you think the man that she fucking know? She says she don't even really talk about it. And what have I taught y'all? They will tell the internet about their bad pussy before the man that they're fucking. And they will fuck him in discomfort. And they will turn him out. And they will marry him. And they will have his ass at the pussy doctor for the rest of his life. And they won't give a fuck. They were born an autistic child. They don't give a fuck.
I'm nervous. I have friends who have had fibroids like grow. I have family members too. I know people who can't have kids because of them. The stuff I'm telling y'all, my family doesn't even know. I don't really talk about it. I feel like, let me figure out, see what's going on. No need to panic. I did tell them that I've been having a lot of issues where it's been like keeping me in the bed in the morning with a lot of pain, or having to like use heating pads and stuff like that.
Ma'am, do you think that's the best pussy a man could find? A pussy that got to have heating pads in the morning? Do you think that's the best pussy a man can find? Brothers, get your head up. Get your head up, brothers.
Keeping me in the bed in the morning with a lot of pain, or having to like use heating pads and stuff like that when I go to bed. And so they know that there's something. I haven't given details. So I'll keep y'all posted along the way. This video, obviously I'm recording way ahead of time. I probably won't post this video until I figure out what all is going on. So y'all, I don't really know how this video is going to go. Y'all probably going to see in the same video my appointment tomorrow and like my comparisons and all of that stuff like that. But right now, not only do I need to get back to work, right before I get back to work, I need to pull my records from my other doctor so I can have a Dr. Gleek tomorrow. So
right before I get back to work, this is what independence gets you, brothers. You don't hear these stories. This is what the independent Black, this is what it gets them, brothers. Pay attention.
Get back to work. Right before I get back to work, I need to pull my records from my other doctor so I can have a Dr. Gleek tomorrow. So I'm gonna tag y'all along with me.
There you have it, black man. They'll do anything to get that box right to fleece your ass. Has she talked about how early she... Oh, my fault. Because that's a horrible comment song.
So the uterus is...
I ain't going to gross you out. I won't gross you guys out. But they'll gross you out because they don't give a damn. That's all I've been trying to tell you guys.
So I am about to record, and I realized that I haven't given y'all an update. I spoke with the doctor, and what she said was that I had a little bit of growth on my largest fibroid. So I have 3, as you can see from the whole ultrasound. And she said that she felt like it wasn't a significant enough growth to like do anything about it. But she gave me a few medical options. And the main one was, 1, sit down and just wait and see like what happens with it over time, see how it grows even more, or if it doesn't, see if I have any side effects from it. But she was like, any changes I'll probably make would be primarily lifestyle changes, like quality of life changes.
What do I teach you, black man? Come on. Come on. Then King Disagreeable told y'all when that bitch said she liked to work out and all that, King Disagreeable said that bitch is lying. And what do we teach you over here? They live life not. What did Son Welbeck just tell your ass? Son Welbeck just told your ass. What'd he say? Taking fertile box for granted. They take their box for granted. It's about eating. We don't care about no body count. They are mistreating their bodies.
And the main one was, one, sit down and just wait and see like what happens with it over time, see how it grows even more, or if it doesn't, see if I have any side effects from it. But she was like, any changes I'll probably make would be primarily lifestyle changes, like quality of life changes. And that could be to do the embolization, which would shrink them. So I'm just going to go back to MUSC, get that ultrasound, just make sure that they have the same results. Like, I really don't know what to do. But for right now, that's just where we are. So
pay attention, black man. Pay attention, black man. I got this box and I just don't know what to do. Now, is that how you hear black women talk on the internet? Do you hear black women talk like that? No, they're putting a show on for you, player. You don't hear black women talk like this, Ken. And I'm going to tell you why. Just in case you wanted to know why, the prince will tell you. Because they know you stupid. Because they know you don't know shit. It's not a nice thing. It's not nice. They say they're using that to their advantage. Niggas are stupid. What do they care? They don't care that my pussy fucked up, long as they got a whole of fucking taking all the sophistication out of your eggplant. No, we're not doing that. If my brothers knew you was fucked up like that, yes, they would fuck you, but you would have no power. I can tell you that. That sounds like bad advice. Just leave it in there and see if it grows instead of cutting it out. Some Welbeck. Sometimes they can't afford it. And they lie so much you can't believe shit they say, King. You know better than them. Always remember that. You know better than them. They can't even take care of their pussy. Matter of fact, where Jap at? Where Jap at? Where is Jap?
They failed at controlling their pussy, protecting their pussy, and even maintaining and cleansing their pussy.
So I'm going to make sure that, like, I really don't know what to do. So go back to MUSC, get that ultrasound. Just make sure that they have the same results. Like, I really don't know what to do. But for right now, that's just where we are. So I'm going to make sure to take you guys to my next appointment. I actually got on a wait list for 2 different doctors, 2 African-American doctors. I'm going to cancel being on that other one. I just love Dr. Gleaton so much that I just don't feel like I need to go anywhere else. I think that her facility is amazing. Her staff is amazing. Her technology is amazing. She is amazing. And I feel confident making a decision with her. But I would love to know, like, if any of y'all have any issues with fibroids, like, what did you do about them? Like, how many did you have? What were the sizes? Like, if you did something about it, what was the deciding factor to make you do some type of medical procedure to correct it? Just wondering. There's a lot to sink in. I was hoping that if I ever had this issue, it would be after life is fine, or at least when I have a spouse so I can make that decision with him.
Hello, black man. Hello. We talk this her brain. Hello. Bitches, when we say bitches got peanuts for brains. Hello. Ma'am, anybody in there? Hello? Bro, it's a fucking empty skull. But it ain't her fault. She's been systemically programmed to not be with a man, deal with a man, make love to, care for, and cater for a man. Thinking the world was hers because of society, not giving a fuck about her black community. That's why. Plain, if you got time or anybody, holla at me, man, before my gladiator come in, B. Holla at me, man. Holla at me before my gladiator get in here. Let's cook. So I'm well back, man. All we trying to do is help these sisters, man. We understand there is a health crisis. Health crisis. And in turn, they are mentally unstable. Did you hear that woman? Let's play it back. Listen to how they... Now, this is the part where you would think that we would get sad, but we done heard this too many times that we just laugh. She misused her pussy. Everybody knows it, but she act like she wasn't because she got a house and a job and a car. And now she's saying she wish she had a spouse and a family, then her pussy go out on her. She wanted to still be able to use that shit over men. I've been telling y'all, man. Listen.
Like, what did you do about them? Like, how many did you have? What were the sizes? Like, if you did something about it, what was the deciding factor to make you do some type of medical procedure to correct it? Just wondering. There's a lot to sink in. I was hoping that if I ever had this issue, it would be after life is fine, or at least when I have a spouse so I can make that decision with him, or after I felt like I was done having children. Like, I'm absolutely happy with just my daughter. I just don't know where the...
Okay. So she did get a daughter. So she fleeced somebody for child support with that badass pussy. And yo, and like I said before, guys, you guys got to hit the Cash App, man, because you guys you'll make all my other Cash App niggas run away, because I can't just keep saying the same person every time unless they want me to. But at the same time, he trying to start something. He sends me a Cash App. You guys and girls need to send a Cash App. This is class, King. Don't leave my brother. Don't ever leave my brothers on the island. Send that Cash App with my brother. We'll get back to it in a moment. Let's hear the end of her sad ass story.
The Lord may take my life. As far as the spouse, I don't know. Like, I'm absolutely happy with just my daughter. I just don't know where the Lord may take my life. As far as the spouse, I don't know if he'll have children. Obviously, I want to be able to give him children if he wants children. And I don't want that to be a deciding factor for some man to say, well, no, I don't think we're going to work out,
What I teach y'all, Pussycat Facts Report will give the man the polite opportunity to say, nah, we ain't going to work. And these bitches want their pussy to be working, but you don't know it, so they'll come up to you with a broken pussy. See that? Pay attention. They will tell you. Listen.
if he wants children. And I don't want that to be a deciding factor for some.
They don't want the Pussycat Facts Report to be a deciding factor whether this good saint of a man will not deal with her, because he deserves the right to have what he wants. You shouldn't be able to deceive him and take him out of that because he don't know about the Pussycat Facts Report. So your honesty is very much required before he gets too much in love.
I want to be able to give him children if he wants children. And I don't want that to be a deciding factor for some man to say, well, no, I don't think we're going to work out, which I have stopped dating someone because he wanted kids. I just didn't want any at the time. All right. So this video, I'm letting out all of my business to y'all. So y'all see exactly what was going on when I got the ultrasound. Didn't even realize I had my knees so far. And I was so in tune with the screen. And it was so nice to have this big screen I can see. The other doctor's office, I had to like peep on her screen. It was so nice getting all of that feedback. The biggest thing is, one of my issues that I also had that I didn't say in the beginning of this video is that I started having like this menstrual cycle constantly. So you heard me telling the sonographer that stuff, right? The worst part about it is that it was for a really long time and it was so irregular. I hadn't used tampons in years. So when it starts getting to the point where I need to use tampons, I'm alarmed. Plus, it wasn't like red blood. It was like old blood. But the doctor explained to me, which I didn't record this part because I was so in tune with what she was saying, was that the fibroid is messing with my endometrial gland or endometrial lining. And since it's messing with my endometrial lining, it causes me to have these irregular periods. It's a little annoying because it can happen at any time. What am I going to do? I don't know. As y'all can see from my hair, I took those videos a long time ago. Let me give you an update. MUSC never scheduled my next appointment.
Anyway, let's move on. Oh, shit. Plane. Yo, hit the link, Plane. You cannot do that. Yo, my gladiator just called, said she going to BJ's, get some tea bags and all that stuff. So we got some time. Holla at me, man. Come on, man. You niggas always got these box stories and never trying to tell them. Mad that I'm right. That's the fucked up part. Oh, no, it was still on this channel. Hold on. It was still on this channel. Hold on 1 second. It was all on.
Hello, friends. Well, welcome to my channel. My name is Wahima, and I am a 38-year-old cisgendered female from Southern California. To my channel, my name is Wahima, and I am a 38-year-old cisgendered female from Southern California.
I'm a 38-year-old cisgendered black female from Southern California. Plain, go ahead with the story if you want to. How did it happen? How did it happen?
Oh, you saw my last comment?
Yeah.
We were just sitting talking, and she was, she just started opening up. So I shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting some PCF data. So,
You sitting there loving yourself. You sitting there loving yourself. yeah.
I'm like, ooh, here we go. Here we go. I ain't even have to raise the issue.
Right.
I mean, now see, she's trying to ease me into it.
Right. Hold on. Let's walk this down slow. Hold on. Hold on.
Now hold on. Now she en route. So don't let me play myself.
All right. Cool. So she's basically walking in your park. Let's go.
Yeah. We just sitting there. I keep letting her know. She's like, "What you want to watch?" I'm like, "Bitch, I don't watch TV. I ain't into none of this shit. If you like it, I love it. Just do your thing, kick it, right?" We watching some bullshit, and she explained all to him. Then all of a sudden, talking about how she went, had an incident a year ago and had to go to the ER and found out she had cysts. Then I was like, "But what was the follow up? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what they tell you to do?
Right.
What did they give? You know what I'm saying? Then something happened. We were doing multiple things. So oh man, so I was left on a cliffhanger. So I asked her today.
What?
I was like, yeah, like
Why? Well, you don't like cliffhangers. True that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear the
I
whole.
do know that about you. You don't like.
Yeah, you got to tell me the whole story. Don't get me to the right before the climax of the story with no resolution.
Right, go ahead.
But she left somehow. I got left on a cliffhanger. We got distracted with other stuff, and she the type you really can't press her. She'll run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All gladiators. Go ahead.
Right. They live a life based on fear. So today I was talking to her, and I was like, hey, and right now she got Aunt Flo in town for Red Bank, so ain't nothing going on. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. She got Aunt Flo in town, so we just
perfect time for you to be very nice to her. But go ahead.
Exactly. I've learned. I got to thank you, bro. You really put me up on some good game with these gladiators, man. So I bring it up today. I was like, you left me on a cliffhanger last night. She caught attitude. She was like, cause you know what I'm saying? Like I woke up on rock. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm opening the door without my hands. I'm so rocked up.
Right.
But I ain't pressing. I'm like, baby, I ain't pressing. Where it's going? You know what I'm saying? We'll get to it when we get to it.
Right.
So, it's like you left me on cliffhanger. He's like, oh, you talking about that Woody you had this morning? Like, see, you're being simple-minded. No, I'm being concerned for your well-being. I'm talking about what you was telling me about your cysts and stuff. I'm concerned now. I want to see, you know what I'm saying, what the treatment plan is. Like, how we going to fix this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she ain't want to rap.
Fighting words. What did I teach you? What did I teach you? Those are fighting words.
That's why I said it over the phone.
Remember that.
But she brought it up.
Yes, and that's like we said when you're getting Pussycat Facts Report, it's a very tiptoey situation where she said that, you check that off. Then you got to kind of like
right. Yeah, but don't get me wrong, man. Like I got some compassion for her, you know what I'm saying?
And you're smart enough to know it don't stop your party.
Right. But I think what it's going towards is that, like, me thinking she got an attitude or she just feisty. No, she in constant pain. She just got a high pain threshold. She's suffering in silence, dog.
Very true. Very true.
And God damn it, I don't want to put the cape on, but
what cape?
It's Captain Save a whole cape.
How can you save her? How can you save her?
Encourage her to do better with her lifestyle.
Nah, don't do that.
Damn.
Yeah, don't do that, man. The best thing you could do is enjoy the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you that was your one shot to talk about her pussy. Don't do it no more.
Wait for her to bring it up.
Yes.
Okay. Word.
Yes. Don't do it no more.
Damn.
You get one shot. You get one shot.
Damn, because I sure tried to bring it up again today and it didn't go, you know.
Right. You get one shot, man. Don't worry about it.
Just have fun, huh?
I mean, that's what it's all about. Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, man. Let that girl have the fun that she wants to have. You understand? It's a dangerous subject, man. I told y'all niggas, man. Like, right. Bernie is a lucky nigga. Don't you get it? He's lucky. This shit is dangerous. I done been through these wars.
Oh.
I've been through these wars, dog. Where it's dangerous. You know, I've been there. You know, like you get your one shot, and that's fine. Like she's like a person in a wheelchair. She just want to be normal.
Damn, just feel normal knowing.
Yeah.
But how you just gonna leave the shit untreated?
Because she's older. She's older, bro.
What you mean? You know what you consider older?
I'm gonna give you a good analogy. She's like a 2004. So if you fix the timing belt,
it gonna throw off something else.
You got to mess around and do the alternator later.
Right. You threw off the whole integrity this motherfucker had.
If you don't run that car, if you don't just drive that car, you understand?
Just ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
You know, that remind me of an old partner I had back in the hood, man. He was the man said, he said, I do these hoes like I do a box Chevy. Just dog it out, go get another one. I was like, damn.
Brothers are rough. So what do you think about this topic called consent? How did you get consent to fuck this woman?
They're using consent as a means of
no. How did you get consent to fuck this woman?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She volunteered.
Okay. See,
like I told you,
that's the best way.
Right. That's how I operate. You got to throw it at me. And
Do you think most women throw it at men for them to get pussy?
I think no. Most women don't have enough confidence to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not so much confidence, but like that. You know how they be having that pussy. How they had that box confidence, like, oh yeah, I know.
It's like we call it snake charm. They don't know how to snake charm, dance. You understand?
Oh yeah. They ain't got no game. They ain't got no game. They just like, hey, we could have been fucking last time I saw you. I'd be like, word, like, okay, that's real smooth. Like,
they don't know how to do all that.
Nah, they ain't got no finesse to them. They like, but me knowing this, I appreciate the fact when they go ahead and pay homage and. You know what I'm saying? And let you know that they ready, because
it's the best way.
Yeah, I just create a comfort zone.
So what do you think about women even having that sort of consent conversation? Do you think it's more of a sinister approach or trying to be balanced towards men?
No, it's totally sinister. Like they trying to line you up for a date rape charge with all that.
Shit is fucked up.
With all that wishy.
So what do you think about women saying if a girl is on liquor, that don't give her the right to have consent?
Now
Hold on.
Okay, you asked the question. Go
I'm
ahead.
not finished with the question.
Okay.
Knowing that bitches like to drink all the time.
Right. Well, coming up back in the day in the 90s when date R, forgive me for saying the word, but I'm gonna say date R. You know what I'm saying? How that became a thing back 30 years ago, and I was protecting myself. I wanted to know the politics of the box. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to walk into no trap. And it is not like unless y'all are established, unless you are already established and in some type of intimate relationship.
Let me frame it this way.
Don't be banging no drunk broad on the first date.
Let me frame it this way. Put it like this. As far as for the younger generation coming up nowadays.
Yeah. Don't risk your freedom banging drunk broads.
Do you think they should get with a woman and tell them, yo, don't drink while you're around me?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be drunk the first time. You running a big risk of getting locked up.
But they like to drink.
Well, don't go on the first time. Go in the second time. They
make the plan with the girl.
Yeah, like get, you know what I'm saying, line it up in advance, but don't get all caught up in the heat of the moment with somebody you ain't really got no relationship with and they drunk, because you
think that's the best way to have
up.
sex from the way that you grew up?
What?
The way that they got to do it now, tell her don't drink and do all this other shit and plan it for the second time. Do you think that's a better way to have sex, or the way that you grew up was a better way?
No, it's better now because
so the girl can't drink and turn up.
You can, but everybody's on this. They having more conversations.
So what was the better time? What was the better time, when you grew up or now?
Now.
So where the men cannot get no drunk pussy.
You can, you just can't get it from a stranger. Get to know them.
So was it better that you could get it from a stranger back then?
I couldn't get it from a stranger back then. That's what I'm saying. That's when they started this shit.
That's a lie.
It's not.
That's a lie.
It's
okay.
not.
So being that you couldn't, other
you
brothers
were just
could.
behind.
No,
you
let me speak. Let me speak. So other brothers, you couldn't do it, but other brothers could though. So was it cool for them?
That ain't none of
in
my
your
business.
estimation.
No, that ain't cool, man. Like, why? Like,
But they didn't have no charges put on them. They didn't have to worry about things.
Well, I guess it's levels. Like, if y'all just tipsy, that's one thing. But if she just blacked out, passed out.
I'm not talking about blacked out. I'm talking about, hear me out, son. When we grew up, we used to go to something called house parties. Okay, and you could drink in there, and you could have, and this is not necessarily a stranger. It's a girl that you probably seen around the way in school, and you might have hooked up with her that night.
Right.
And no, it wasn't none of this grape stuff.
Right.
So which was better, then or now, where guys got to go through all this stuff and be worried? In your estimation,
it's better now because they're more free with the box at the end of the day.
That's alleged.
I'm telling you.
That's alleged. A lot of guys complain about not getting no pussy and going on OnlyFans.
Well, I guess it's up to the individual what you ate. Like,
we gotta talk for the people.
I'm talking for, well, everybody ain't eligible for box. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
They bring it on themselves. Like, you ain't just, like, we talk about women's entitlement. Men can't feel entitled to box. You got to do what you got to do to draw it in. It ain't just.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said that, because I want to ask you some questions about this is the type of box that you want my brothers to draw in. Let's go. Because you ain't trying to qualify, disqualify. You just say go get some box. Let's go.
Know or may not know. Fibroids are non-cancerous that grow in and around your uterus. Period. It is something that I had never experienced in the past. I thought it was a fluke. I didn't know what was going on. I was sitting at my desk at work and all of a sudden, whoosh, and I was on my period. So I knew that I was on my period. But then
So you telling me niggas need to have a privilege to get this kind of pussy, right?
No, I ain't saying
No,
there's a privilege.
no. I'm gonna move past that. I'm gonna ask you some different questions. Let's go.
all of a sudden it was just like I had just changed my tampon and whoosh, I mean everywhere. I don't know why I did not go home immediately and seek medical help. I did the
What have we learned? Do they ever go seek medical help right away when their pussy starts going bad playing?
No, they call their mama. Go get an old wives' tale. Go get a broom straw and put it in your hair. And stand on one leg. Make it stop
this
bleeding.
portion of the show, sorry, Plain, my fault. This portion of the show is sponsored by Son Welbeck with the Cash App, entertained by my nigga Plain. Let's go.
the best that I could, and I continued working. And as the day went on, every hour I would just bleed through my tampon. So then I put on a pad and a tampon, and then every hour I bled through that. And so it became this pattern that I didn't quite understand, but I didn't do much to look into it. The next
we know, do they take care of their pussy? No.
time I had my period, the same thing happened. Again, it caught me off guard, and I just dealt with it the best way I could. This kept on for about a year.
Hello? Are you listening, Plain?
But bro, what percentage of women do you think are properly caring for the box?
I would say the way it works, great question. Thank you. I would say it works like this. From what I've learned, and I should pull that video up for you real quick. Let me show you what I've learned. Hold on. Let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick, and we'll get back to that. I've learned that they, like I say, it's almost like a handicapped child. They wish that they were regular. You understand? It's some of the most fascinating shit you ever seen. So they will, just grind it out.
Make a wish box.
Like, watch this girl. Watch this girl. Watch this. It was fascinating. I was like, wow. So this woman, she will say, yo, all my friends wasn't going through it. And I was like, damn. You see what I'm saying?
I'm Kayla, and welcome back to my channel. I'm currently sitting on the floor. I am 31 weeks pregnant, and I'm just tired. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the
31 weeks pregnant, and she's tired. So what have you learned? They'll get with a guy, trap him up, and you think that's the bad part? Nah, she probably got a pussy fix and all that. So what does she do now? She's most certainly going to do her best to have a child with that good man. And what are the conditions of the child? Left to be determined.
MS, endometriosis. Oh, goodness. Whew. Before we jump into what exactly endometriosis is, I want to start with the beginning of my journey. Hopefully this video will be somewhat informative for people who don't know what it is, and also to act as a guide for people who might need help and don't even know it. So, to get started, my endometriosis journey started about my senior year of high school. Nothing was unusual besides that when I was on my cycle, I noticed that my cramps were a bit more harsh than those around me. And some of my friends didn't even have cramps at all, which was bizarre to me. And
some of my friends didn't have cramps and had better pussies than me, and it was bizarre to me. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, the nigga clowning me, y'all. Go Plain clowning me. This okay. Go ahead, my nigga.
They got better pussies.
Hey, yo, it is what it is.
Yeah, we need to grade it like Wagyu beef. This is an A2 pussy.
So
A3.
she knew since high school. You see what I'm saying? So when you ask that question, it's more so like, yo, a lot of times they know and they should pay more attention to it.
Well, what I
like,
did,
yo, I just want to be normal, you know?
I went to AI and asked some questions and got some remedies. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to
Don't do that.
You been hydrated today?
Don't do that.
Oh, God damn it. And then she was like, everybody.
Don't do that. I promise you, don't do that.
Right. I need to mind my business.
Mind your fucking business. Can you please have a good time? What is one of my key elements? Have fun first.
And me, I'm like, help me, help, it hurts. And I didn't know it was not supposed to hurt that bad. When I first started to know, I was like, my periods kind of hurt. From there, we jump ahead to about my junior year of college. And this is when I started to notice things escalate. My period became more intense. They were strong, they were long. I'd have a period for like 2 weeks. And also, this is when I started to notice that the pain would go outside of the bounds of my period, off and on every day, even when I'm, wasn't on my cycle. And that was beginning to be very strange for me. I tried Midol, Tylenol, Excedrin. I tried all of the over-the-counter meds. I tried.
What did we teach you? Do they do drugs all the time? It's what we teach. It's what we teach. It's what we teach.
That's why the shit over the counter, because it ain't strong enough, baby. You gotta go to the doctor. You need a prescription. That's a definition of insanity, doing the same thing over expecting different results. You keep popping these over-the-counter pills and they give you a little bit of relief. They be scared. They be scared to get that diagnosis, man. They don't, you know what I'm saying?
Diagnosis where?
I'm saying any type of diagnosis. They know something wrong.
No. This is
on the box.
See, because this is what traps men. We don't care about the rest of that shit. What do men get trapped with?
The box.
That's it. Let's go.
Heating pads, nothing was working. I was just getting more and more paranoid. I was getting.
So when we go to these people, when we see these women and we say to their husband, what if I told you she knew she had that before you got married? And he beat me up. He don't know. He's stupid. You understand? She been knew.
He gonna pull out that butcher knife and you got to break out the windbreaker.
Right.
I didn't know where to turn because there was no one I could relate to. Every time I'd call someone to complain or if they wanted to hang out with me, I'm like, I can't, I hurt so bad. They did not understand. And I didn't even understand myself. So it was hard to cope with what was going on. And at the time, endometriosis wasn't something that was commonly talked about. I didn't know if there was anything just medically wrong with me. I thought I just couldn't handle the pain. So I would just try. I tried my hardest. I really, really tried. And it just wasn't working anymore. It turned from every other day of excruciating pain to every day. And then when I was on my cycle, I was at a 10 in the pain scale. And every day that I wasn't on my cycle, I was still reaching a 7 or an 8. Finally, I've had enough. I've had enough of being in pain, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to turn. So then I finally decided to visit my OBGYN. I don't know why it took me that long to finally realize I should probably.
Plain, you know why. She don't know why, but you know why. Ain't that fucked up?
And check this out. Look, I'm looking at Morgan Freeman comment.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Right.
He said the chick had impeccable box, but was insane. See, that's the thing you got to remember. Good box comes with insanity. You're not going to find good box on the same woman. God is a cruel God.
That's one thing. That's one of Sam Welbeck's. That's one of his pet peeves. Sam Welbeck's the sponsor of the show. Y'all niggas sponsor along with him. But one of Sam Welbeck's pet peeves is that they don't go to the doctor. He hates it. He hates it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the low hanging fruit of the easily attainable box is not impeccable. You see what I'm saying?
Magical family, what's good?
I'll be seeking some help. But I did. Visited the doctor finally, and I told her all of my symptoms. I told her about my painful periods, how I would travel outside of my periods, how I was in excruciating pain every day, where it was and how intense. So with all the information that I gave her, she was able to tell me that it sounded like I had something.
And that's one of my pet peeves, where these gladiators try to act ladylike. Bitch, you went a year without checking on your pussy and dealing with pains and taking over-the-counter meds. Don't you dare try to act like a soft flower around me.
She just burped and tried to make it feminine.
Right. I don't like that. I don't like that. You're a fucking gladiator.
Put your helmet on, ho.
Called endometriosis, a word I've never heard before. Now, obviously, I'm not a medical doctor by any means, but I'm going to try to explain what it is without being in. When she told me about it and told me the definition of it and how it leads to chronic pain because you have all of these lesions and scar tissue everywhere affecting your body, I was like, okay, fix me. Now, the thing about this.
What do I teach you guys? They want to get fixed fast. Years of fucking themselves up with bad diet and bad lifestyle, but they want the fast fix.
Well, I think the key is the lack of true discipline.
From a dietary standpoint.
No, just period. They lack discipline. They lack discipline. Discipline to me is being able to do some shit you don't want to do because you have to. You do it because you need to, not because you want to. They put wants over needs.
Only reason I'm gonna disagree is because they are systemically programmed, man. They just know not, man. And you may think that they do, but they really don't, man.
Right.
And that's why we came up with the Pussycat Facts report to really put a fix on their ass if ever possible,
You just appraising them.
And they need to be.
This illness is you
Box
can't tell
totaled
someone
out.
that they have it for sure unless you have surgery. And that is a big word. Surgery. The surgery that they do for endometriosis patients is called a laparoscopy. It's called a laparoscopy.
Laparoscopy.
The thing about this surgery is that they go in and look
Okay,
for scar
wait, pause,
tissue
pause,
lesions,
pause,
so
pause.
to
We need we need to put that in the lexicon.
No, I got that.
Okay.
other important things in your body that they won't touch it. So they could go in and greatly help you, or they could go in, see that you have it, and they can't really do anything about it. Ultimately, I did decide to have the surgery because I was in so much pain. It was very scary going in. It was my first surgery ever. After the surgery, they were able to show me pictures and documentations of what they found. I was one of the unlucky ones who, yes, they found a ton of lesions, scar tissue, and endometriosis growths all over my reproductive system and on my bowels because of this.
Now, at that point, she knows that, she had to do some stuff around her reproductive system, making her not the best available box for that man. You understand me?
But
so
how
at
is
that
she-
point, she knows.
But she's relaying this with this painted on smile and this Valley Girl voice, this whole facade that she's portraying online. Like, where is your own empathy for your own box?
That's disregarded, man. Like,
That's what got her. That's what got her here. That's what got her in this situation.
But it don't. I can still fleece you. Don't you get it? You don't know.
That's why they happy. They're like, it don't. Even though I'm going through, it don't matter. Somebody gonna go for it.
Right. Just fix me up. Reconstruct this thing.
They weren't able to remove anything. They were able to do some snippets here and there, but no, all of my lesions are still there from before the surgery and then some. So when they told me this information, it was sort of like, on one hand, I'm so excited that you found what's wrong with me. And then on the other hand, it's, well, great, you couldn't remove any of it. Now what? What made matters worse is that my body couldn't handle the surgery. What me and my doctors came up with is that I was already in so much pain and my body was under so much stress already that the surgery sort of just threw me off of the edge. So not only do I still have the pain from before, I have more pain because of the surgery. They decided
No, pause. She didn't do her proper follow-up care because she a hard-head ass gladiator. Don't be blaming. The doctors did their job.
I didn't want to say.
She didn't do her job. You know what's up.
I didn't want to say it. She had
You
high
know
blood
what's
pressure.
up.
She had high blood
attitude.
pressure.
I don't do that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing
She
that.
had high blood pressure. So she made it a risky surgery. You understand?
I can guarantee she did not do her proper follow-up.
No, we saying the same thing. Recently bagged a 36-year-old African girl who just graduated from Columbia. You just reminded me that I need to run her cat facts report. Thank you.
Yeah, and a background check.
Endometriosis has stage 1 through 4. 1 being probably mild discomfort. You have some things here and there, maybe some painful periods. And, it's not really affecting your life all that much. Stage 4 is when everything is so bad, you probably end up having to have a hysterectomy.
Most Black women have stage 4 endometriosis, FYI.
As soon as possible. For me, they concluded that I had between stage 3 and 4. So yes, I was going to be dealing with pain for the rest of my life. But it wasn't something that they immediately had to go in and scoop everything out for. All right, so no cure. What do? You basically do pain management as best as you can. My purse and my nightstand had so many pills, I looked like a drug dealer. What they gave me to start with, hydro, I had oxy, I had tramadol, and those 3 are opioids. So I had these opioid
There you go, Plain.
Oh man.
You wanted her to get the stronger stuff. You asked for it.
Oh man, you're sending chills down my spine. That's rough.
Why?
So
Why?
because it's like you said, they being programmed. They basically programming them to be infertile junkies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cold game.
And what's always on the other side of this? She's
What?
pregnant. She's pregnant as a hint.
She's pregnant.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Who's on the other side of all of this?
That baby.
A man. A man has to deal with this.
Like I said, you never answered the question. What percentage of women has, you know what I'm saying?
No.
What percentage of women is gonna get highly appraised on the Pussycat Facts?
Well, you was asking what percentage of women know. They know.
No, I ain't saying. I'm saying after they run the Pussycat Facts, what percentage of women?
Well, Bernie says that most black women score at a 50 something, and that's past being good. So they score at a 50 something. So I guess you say about 80%.
80%. So you're saying 80% of the box out here is good?
It's bad.
Oh, right. So it's 20% good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it's 80-20. Just like they focus on 20% of the men and all try to fuck the same dudes.
Yeah.
That's their
But
karma.
the difference is the ones that fall into the 20 percentile may not look good. See what I'm saying?
Well, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Gotta man up.
Nah, it's just a scenario. It's not about that. It's about now that you got this woman's Pussycat Facts report, you know how to treat her till you find something better or whatever the case is, unless she's a great woman, you know?
I tell them to put their big girl panties on and warming up. Take their ass to the OBGYN and deal with that shit.
No, you can't do that.
I mean, in my mind.
Let's go.
In my mind.
Medications. And then I also had medications that were specific for endometriosis. Now, these medications sort of worked like a birth control. It would stop my hormones from operating to their full capacity, so I wouldn't grow any more scar tissue outside of my uterus. The thing with endometriosis is when you have a cycle, more growth are being pumped into your body. So I had naproxen, I had norethindrone, other medications for pain management. They would sort of get me through the day, but I was still in constant pain. That's the next step. Injections and hormone therapy. Insert menopause. So there's an injection that actually halts your cycle and sends you into menopause because you don't have a cycle anymore. When I was on those injections, my pain.
Oh, what I miss? What I miss, Pat? What I miss?
She said that
something about some injections?
Yeah, like because they basically to as a form of treatment to help her with pain management, they said since your period's giving you so much pain, we're gonna induce menopause and cut your periods off.
Dang.
And induce menopause, man.
Really stop. So this is my journey, and this is what worked and didn't work for me. So it's not like people who took medications, it wouldn't work for them, or took these injections and it wouldn't work for them. It just didn't work for me. They recommended short-term nerve blocks in my spine and things like that, and it just didn't sound good for me. Nothing short-term. No, if something's gonna be affecting me the rest of my life, I don't want to be shot in the back every few months for $900 a shot. Like, what do I look like? Money McGee? This back and forth thing goes on for a very long time. I was in school to be a teacher, and I had a major surgery right before the end of the semester, right before I was supposed to go to student teaching. And I basically had to put a lot of things on hold to get better. Having an invisible illness is hard. Even right now, I look like I'm fine, but I am not fine. I'm hurting a lot. And it's so easy for people to forget, even if they are really close to you and know you. I'm not gonna walk into a room and be like, hey guys, I have endometriosis, I'm in a lot of pain, but let's have some fun. It is now 2020, and I am 31 weeks pregnant, as you know, and I'm still hurting. Okay, so now I want to be able to give some.
What did I teach you? Will they still have the baby no matter what conditions? What do I teach?
This baby full of naproxen and spinal interceptors and all this stuff she done put in her body is gonna go into that baby, and she happy.
What did I teach? This baby could come out in a fucking wheelchair. She wouldn't give a fuck.
It's just
she wouldn't give a fuck.
It's just to say, I had a baby. I did. My box did its job.
She wouldn't give a fuck. You hear me? And it's all about trapping that man. It's all about trapping that man.
Okay. It's not about It's not about like It's not like they feel like more of a woman because they got a baby. They feel like I'm finna secure the bag off this nigga.
Right. And especially he cares about her pain and everything. He's a saint. He's fucked.
Don't say he got his cape on.
No, he just living in a bittersweet environment.
No, he got his cape on. He's saving hoes.
Hey, call it what you want. I'm gonna tell you one thing. You heard her. She ain't tell him up front.
God,
so he got deceived.
Well, I don't feel sorry for these guys because these women be so obviously fake. If they falling for this fake ass game, and
that's not you're missing it. We're cool with the bullshit, but you gonna give me bad box on top of it, and you doing it because I don't know about it? Nah, fuck that. Even the lamest nigga will make a better decision. Are you kidding me?
I'm the lamest.
Even the lamest nigga will make a better decision, dog. Yo, look at Platt. Platt ain't shit. She don't give a damn about that baby. Look at Plain. His son never going to the league. Yo, that's fucked up. Yo, Platt. Look at Platt. Yo, that's fucked up. Yo, that's fucked up. Damn.
98% of these babies ain't going to the league. Niggas need to get it.
You know what he mean. He's fucked up. But listen, look at Magical Family. Maybe he's just a caring and empathetic dude. The question is, at what cost? I would say infinite pain.
Advice for people who may not know that they have this illness. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your symptoms. In most cases, what you're going to deal with is pelvic pain. Periods are not supposed to feel like you're getting hit by a car. Now, it may not be endometriosis. It could be PCOS. It could be a ton of different reproductive things that are going on.
Is she telling the truth or is she lying?
She telling the truth.
See?
With a lying demeanor.
Yes. Because it's mainly for the girls.
And these can be worse over time, like with me. My senior year of high school, it hurt. But by the time I was a junior in college, I was almost crying every day. There are also other symptoms like pain with bowel movement, pain during or after sex, heavy period.
Pain during or after sex?
Golly.
What do I try to teach my brothers, man? All you dudes do is laugh at me. Anything I say that I'm not supposed to know, you fucking clown me. You know, when I say, yo, she's fucking you in discomfort, you're clowning me about it.
Ain't nobody clowning you, man. What are you talking about? We listening, man. They might have been laughing before, but it's too much evidence now. And then once you come here to the class, and then you go out in the world and pay attention, you come back with a whole different perspective, like me.
Yo, son, she's fucking you in discomfort while you're breaking a sweat, getting busy. You out there rocking. She's in pain.
And look, she making all them porn star noises.
Yeah.
You really think you doing something?
Yeah.
It's all an act.
Yeah.
She biting a bullet to try
I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm just letting you niggas know.
They playing the long game.
Y'all niggas been beat. Been beat. Been beat. You was beat when that bitch said she was 17 years old. You been beat.
And then she light skinned, so a lot of brothers gonna give it a try just because they color self-hate Negroes.
She know what she doing. Fucking you in discomfort. And guess what? You got her bad pussy knocked up. You special.
Right, like you got the golden seed and it's going to waste.
Right.
She gonna dilute your shit.
Spotting or bleeding in between, pain with bowel movement, pain during or after sex, heavy periods, spotting or bleeding in between periods, and lack of energy. Please don't be like me and wait years later to find out. I feel like if
They all do the same thing. They wait. Son Welbeck gets very mad at that.
I would have went in and got seen sooner, my scar tissue and lesions wouldn't have been as bad as they were years later. Maybe they would have been able to take some off. Maybe I would have been able to start on the hormone injection sooner and being able to help. There's a lot of maybes, a lot of what ifs, but my suggestion to you is to get help as soon as possible. Also, trust yourself. If you are in pain and no one is listening to you, demand to be heard. Don't let people downplay what you are going through. They have no idea. This is where having a support system becomes very, very important.
That's all we try to tell the black woman. Let that man run the Pussycat Facts report on you and let him have the option to care for you. But they would rather hide.
Because they know he also has an option to run from you.
Right.
They're not gonna take that chance. He might say, you know what, old girl,
I'm trying to be nice.
I'm making it plain, dog. I play my gimmick.
Damn.
Ain't no nice, ain't no mean. It is what it is. Case of Rasa rock.
The man has the option to run from you. Very true.
They don't want to
Having a
give.
strong
They won't give
support
them the option.
system of people who understand and who love and support you in your decisions, what to do with your body, are going to be a tremendous help. Another thing I will say is that if you do get diagnosed with endometriosis, is to try your hardest to not become your illness. Find ways to help you cope besides medication. And
What do we teach you over here, Plain?
Self-care, the best care.
No. You got that question wrong. Let me frame it a different way so you could get it right. Once we figure out how they've been living with the box in this new climate, after we see everything that the box puts them through, it also affects what part of their body?
Their mind.
Very correct. Now you hear what she's saying. Listen to what she's saying about the antidepressants.
try your hardest to not become your illness. Find ways.
Try your hardest to not become your illness by getting depressed.
Right, but because it's incurable, so they're only going to treat the symptoms.
Listen.
Diagnosed with endometriosis is to try your hardest to not become your illness. Find ways to help you cope besides medication. And someone that will make you think of other things besides the pain.
There you have it, Plain. You said the mental. You hit the nail on the head. That was powerful.
Man. Well, I mean, yeah.
That was powerful. Damn. Now that's what you call
Hello, friends.
knowing
Well,
what
welcome
you
to my
know.
channel. My name is Wahima, and I am a 38-year-old cisgendered female from Southern California.
Hold on. My God, Platt. Once she has that baby, her man is never getting the box again except birthdays and anniversaries.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
Dang.
Again, it caught me off guard, and to me that my iron level was dangerously low. Like, I was super anemic. As soon as he got my results, he himself picked up the phone and called me and was like, go to the store right now and get yourself some iron pills and start taking them 3 times a day. He also told me that I should go see an OBGYN to make an appointment to see what was up with the fibroids. So I was like, okay. So I made an appointment with an OBGYN, and I got to his office and he did a check on me. He saw that I had the fibroids. And so he said that the best thing to do would be to do an IUD, which was Marina.
Oh. He just finna add on some more diseases.
There we go.
Oh my Lord.
So I was like, not feeling it using any kind of birth control because the effect that birth control has on my body. Last time I took Seasonique.
What do I teach you? They take all different type of stuff. What do I teach you?
I think I was at like 32. It made me so depressed that it took me a long time to get out of that depression. It just messed up. My hormones just were all over the place. So I really didn't want to do a birth control, but in order to get my bleed.
If you ever hear some woman talking about, if you ever hear a woman talking about she has a hormone medication or her hormones all over the place, just pay attention.
eating under control so that my, regular life wasn't impacted by me being so severely anemic. I mean, this entire time I had been trying to exercise all of like 2017 and I couldn't exercise. And I thought I was just grossly out of, what's that word called? I mean, I thought I was lazy and I just hadn't worked out enough. And I was just, what's the word when like and it's not unhealthy. I can't think of the word right now. When it comes to me, I'll just yell it out. I thought that I was just lazy. And that was the reason why it was so hard for me to hike with my friends, to walk up a flight of stairs. I just thought I was out of shape. That's the word. I just thought I was grossly out of shape. And this entire time I had been anemic, and I was anemic due to my period. So
I was anemic due to my pussy.
Doctor tried to put in the Mirena, and I have a retroverted uterus, meaning that instead of like if this is the front of your body and this is the back of your body and this is your pelvis area, I think the uterus usually faces this way, right? So if I turn this towards you, my pelvis is here, my back is here, this is my uterus, and it's usually facing this way. And then you have your like cervix is in here, and then your vagina is here. My uterus is like this. It is facing towards the back. And therefore, instead of my cervix being in the place where it normally is, it's kind of up. So when you go into my vagina, my cervix, instead of it being like right here where my fingertips are, it's kind of up here. And I was born this way. It's nothing that they're going to do to correct it because it's just how it is. There are women who are born this way all the time, and that does not stop you from being able to conceive at all. So the doctor, of course, didn't tell me this. I didn't think to ask, honestly. So he's trying to put the Mirena in. He cannot get it in because he cannot get it through my cervix. My cervix is like never been touched. It's like just as tight as it can possibly be. And for those of you guys who don't know, your cervix is like the gateway into your womb. Couldn't get the tool in to get the Mirena to slip it into my womb in order for it to, help out with my bleeding and my fibroids. So he said, I'm going to give you some medication. You're going to go home, and this medication is going to like open up your cervix. So it's going to feel like you're cramping really bad. He said, take it the night before and then come back. So I took this medication, girl. I woke up thinking I was dying. I like fell out of the bed. I was curled in a ball on my side. For those.
So here's the question, Plain, and all you other brothers. Plain, I'm getting the echo, but it's all good. Hey, Plain, let me ask you this, Plain.
Is this better?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of any of this type of stuff? Do black men think women even go through this type of stuff?
Yeah. I remember way back in the day, my mother was in the medical field, and she would go.
I'm talking about the new generation, man.
But just hear me out. Like, the medical field has been using black women as guinea pigs since forever.
Right.
Like if you're going to med school or any type of medical field, you got to watch videos. It's always a black woman in the video that they doing stuff to, experimenting on, trying new treatments and stuff, and that's all they still doing. They just get them to volunteer and sign and pay. Now they get them to pay for it instead of paying them.
Those women who have severe cramps every menstrual cycle, God bless you. I mean, I don't have severe cramps. Like I get cramps a little bit and it does hurt and it's annoying, but it's nothing compared to what that feeling was.
Now, I'm going to give y'all some bonus education right now. Now, the reason I didn't do this type of show is because of my guy, King Disagreeable. I want him to stick around. I never want to gross him out. But here's the extra bonus education. Here's the extra bonus education. And remember, black women, cisgendered women don't want menstrual cycles, but transgenders do.
Oh.
Severe cramps, like I get cramps a little bit and it does hurt and it's annoying, but it's nothing compared to
the natural cramps that my body's supposed to go through for a black woman is annoying, but transgenders want it. Our black women are fucked.
What that feeling was. And then I went to the doctor the next day and I was like, you didn't tell me it was going to feel like this. Like, I'm so sorry. Let's try to get this thing in. So I got up on the bed, put my feet up in the stirrups, and he tried again to get the Mirena in. Girl, he's poking, he's moving it around. I could feel every moment of it, and it was so uncomfortable. Like I was just like, ugh, like I was traumatized for a long time afterwards, and he still couldn't get it in. So he apologized to me profusely, told me he was really sorry, and he's like, there's nothing that I can do besides put you on hormonal like pill like birth control. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to do it. It's okay. I'll just deal with the heavy period. And so I went about my life with a heavy ass period.
Why couldn't you just do that from the beginning? Meet a man and hope that he rock with you. Why couldn't you just do that from the beginning instead of going through all of this shit?
Her womb leaning back like Fat Joe.
Iron pills 3 times a day. So I went back to my internal doctor a couple months later, and he said that my iron levels were good and I didn't have to do 3 times a day, but I still needed to do every day. Did I continue doing it every day? I'm ashamed to say no, I didn't. As soon as I ran out, I didn't order anymore. I didn't go and buy anymore, and I just went about my life, and my period just continued to be a nuisance to my life. So
hardhead, won't do proper follow-up, won't do their part. They think the doctor got a magic wand. Like, nah, it's a team effort. They tell you what to do, and then your black ass go do it.
They failed at controlling their pussy, protecting their pussy.
You understand? Man. You understand?
Can't get through to them.
So right before I turned 36 in September 2018, I decided to try again because, again, the period was too much. The loss of blood was too much. It was just really like fracturing my life. Not only do I have super heavy periods, but they last like 10 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not heavy all 10 days. It's heavy day 2, 3, and 4, in which I have to change my pad and tampon every hour. And I have to wear the heaviest tampon, like an Tampax Ultra Girl. Like, so that prevents me from using a lot of the natural products that I want to use, because natural products don't have the technology to like sop up all the liquid, you know? And I can't sleep day 2 and 3 overnight. Not at all. I sleep on 2 towels on top of each other. I mess up my underwear constantly. I have more black underwear.
Dang, this bitch, man.
Than anything in my closet. Like I've tried everything. I've even tried Thinx. I think it's Thinx, the one where it's a pad in the underwear built in. It was an absolute waste of my money. It does literally nothing for me. The only time I could ever use it where it makes any kind of sense is like day 6 or day 7. And that's just to sleep. I wasted my money on this. And you know, those underwears are expensive. So that is me every month. It is very annoying. It's just horrendous and really uncomfortable. I can't even explain to you how much I have to keep. Not that I don't enjoy this, but I keep myself shorn, like I keep myself waxed down below because it just makes it easier for cleanup. It's a flow and get out of my life. So in September 2018, I met with a nurse practitioner to talk about my fibroids and like what getting surgery would be like. The impression I got after meeting this nurse practitioner was that they were just going to go in, snip, and go about my business. Like that it was going to be such an easy thing. I was going to take it out and I would just go. No, having your fibroids removed is not that. So I made an appointment to see another doctor to have that happen because that is what I thought was going to happen. So December 2018, I saw this doctor. It wasn't the doctor I had seen before, the one who tried to put the Marina in me and couldn't get it in because he no longer worked for Kaiser. So I had to get a new doctor, another time, a male. And normally with OBGYN stuff, like I don't care. I don't discriminate. I don't care if it's a male or a female, like whatever. So they give me this new doctor. I go into him and I'm thinking I'm coming in to get my fibroids removed. I'm thinking that he understands I'm coming in to get my fibroids removed. I've gone over my options and that's it. 36 years old. No, I just turned, 36 years old. And he tells me that my options are to stop my heavy bleeding and to have my uterus lining scraped off, to have a hysterectomy, and that's the surefire way to make sure that my periods stop being heavy, or to something else. There's like one other crazy option that he gave me. And I looked at him and I was like, I was very taken aback. And I think he felt that from me, but his bedside manner still was like horrible. He saw that I was getting more and more upset, but he didn't know how to like pull back from it. I was like, I thought I was coming here to get fibroids removed. I didn't know that you were going to suggest that I have a hysterectomy. Like I don't have kids yet and I want children. And you're telling me to scrape my.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
The doctor doing his job.
Hold on, man. That's a lie. Every time they say that part, it's a lie. They only say that because they want to have that option over the man, that I could have kids with you. They don't want no damn kids unless it's a perfect scenario. And now she's taken aback that that option has been erased. She thought she would have it forever. Plain, what you got?
I can't top that one.
But he didn't know how to like pull back from it. I was like, I thought I was coming here to get fibroids removed. I didn't know that you were going to suggest that I have a hysterectomy. Like I don't have kids yet and I want children. And you're telling me to scrape my uterus?
You're 36. Why don't you have kids? What about that part, Plain?
Yeah, because she's been having fun with that box.
Right.
She been having fun with that box. Now she's suffering the consequences of all that fun because that ain't what it's designed for.
Now you want kids.
No, don't know. I think about the kids who want to, you know what I'm saying? Who want to come
out there. That's why I say, even with all of this stuff going on, she'll still have that man's child instead of letting him be.
Or let the child be. Just, golly, man, like they are totally programmed.
Scrape the lining of my uterus so that I can't have kids just to stop the bleeding. I'd rather bleed. And he was like, oh, well, no, like fibroid surgery, you know, that's, and I was like, well, I didn't know that. I thought that's what I was coming here to get. So I need other options. And meanwhile, I'm tearing up, you know, a nurse is in there with me.
What I teach you guys, the only time that they cry, The only time you'll get a real cry is when that box goes down. What I teach you, Flame? What I teach you, man?
Thought that's what I was coming here to get. So I need other options. And meanwhile, I'm tearing up. You know, a nurse is in there with me and she's like looking at him like he's an asshole. And I'm just like, this is so inappropriate. Like, you need to read the room, sir. Like, it was ridiculous. And so I was like, I tried to get the Marina in and he couldn't get it in. And he's like, oh, I can do it. Let me see who did it. And he's like, oh, that was just a resident. So yeah, I could do it. And I was like, okay. And so he put the Marina in.
Now pay attention. She didn't like him.
Yeah, the doctor, he losing patience with her because like, how you gonna tell me how to do my job? You bust
Hold
down
on.
like you
Hold
did
on.
this shit.
She didn't like him, but she still let him put the Marina in. Why? Why did she do that?
She ain't got no choice.
And she wants it to work so she can fleece a man.
Yeah.
It was just a resident. So yeah, I could do it. And I was like, okay. And so he put the Marina in me.
At that point, why would you be doing all of that? Go live your independent life by yourself. Why would you be doing all of this? Go be independent.
Well, their independence is predicated on our support. So how independent are you?
And he explained to me that I would have like spotting throughout the month for a couple of months. I thought he said 3 months. So I was thinking that I would have a period and then I would spot, and then it would be fine. No, I literally was on my period from when I put the Marina in early December until when they took it out April. So
Is that a fuckable box?
I'm starting to think independent. By independent, they mean they're independent of a single man. So they got like a Frankenstein man. They make this guy do this guy do that.
Is that a fuckable box? If she bled from January to April, is that a fuckable box?
No.
I had my regular period that was like, you know, super heavy and annoying. And then when I would get to day like 7, 8, 9, it would be like I would have to change a regular tampon every 4 hours, which is still too much. I just was on my period. And during that time I was actually dating somebody. And so that was annoying. I actually had the opportunity to like have sex and it's just like fucking period. Now,
what I teach you guys, they'll bleed on you more than one time a month. What did I teach you? That's what her man had to deal with. Try to teach you guys. Try to teach you something here. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs. You get bled on more than once, pay attention.
3, 4 hours, which is still heavy and annoying. And then when I would get to day like 7, 8, 9, it would be like I would have to change a regular tampon every 4 hours, which is still too much. I just was on my period. And during that time I was actually dating somebody. And so that was annoying. I actually had the opportunity to like have sex and it's just like fucking period. Now, before I left that appointment with the stupid doctor who made me cry, the nurse was like, hey, so I'm going to help you and we're going to get you another doctor. And I was like, thank you so much. And she's like, there's this really great doctor, Dr. Barrett. She has a lot of patients. So you won't get an appointment right now, but when she has her first available, I'll slot you in. And I was like, cool. I saw that awful doctor in December. I got the Marina taken out in April just by another nurse practitioner. And then finally in May 2019, I met with Dr. Barrett and she was wonderful. I told her about my experience and she wants to have children. So find the best option for me to stop the heavy period and the anemia and to be able to have children. So Dr. Barrett did on May 23rd, later on in May, of 2019, she did a hysteroscopy, I believe it's called, where I lay down in a stirrup and she put like an ultrasound thing inside of me in my vagina. And then she like moved it around and was like looking around at my uterus. And I mean, not inside of my womb, just on the outside to see like what was going on. And she did see some fibroids, but she saw that they were fibroids that needed to like have surgery. So she couldn't just like take them right then and there. So she explained to me like what was going to happen. She even showed it to me. Like that was the first time I had like actually seen it. It wasn't like an ultrasound. I'll check to see if you have that via ultrasound. So I was like, okay. So then I had an ultrasound and she got all the information that she needed. And in August of 2019, I had my first myomectomy, which is where they go in and they take out your fibroids. So she had clocked 2 fibroids and they were about 4 to 5 centimeters. And so she went in to get them and she went in August to get them up through my vagina and she couldn't get it out. She said that they had calcified, they were very hard, and it was like she didn't have the proper tool to be able to grab onto it and pull it out. So she put me on a wait list so that I could get in her queue to have the surgery the next time she had an availability. And then that happened to be October 2019. So October 2019, I went back in, she got the tools, and then she ended up getting out the fibroids. My time with the surgery, that was my first time having any kind of surgery being put under. And girl, let me tell you, she loves her some anesthetic. I love like falling asleep and just waking up. 6 hours later or 3 hours later or whatever. It was amazing. And my period was supposed to get better, but it didn't. And again, I didn't like go back to the doctor and say anything. I was just like, I guess this is my life, but I guess I'm just gonna have heavy periods until menopause because I've already had the surgery. I don't know what else there could possibly be. Like, I knew she didn't get all the fibroids, but she was telling me that.
Playing.
Yo.
You heard? Did you hear her?
She said they didn't get all the fibroids.
Right. Good ear. Good
So
ear.
it's like a bunch of grapes up in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it didn't stop. And she said to herself, I guess I'm just going to be the woman with the bad box. You know?
Thought you was winning.
Yeah.
She just removed the fibroids that could possibly cause issue with having children, right? So she wasn't going to go in and take them all out, just the ones that were probably the biggest that were causing the heavy bleeding and would cause issues with children later. She did tell me that the fibroids would grow back, but as I'm getting older, they're not going to grow back as fast. And even then, like, depending on when I choose to have kids, it's not something that I needed to worry about right then and there. So I was like, okay, there's still time.
Should she have the choice to have kids after she disclosed everything she put her box through by a man? Or should the man have the choice?
Men don't have the only choice we have in having kids is pulling out.
I know, but like, say as a planned scenario.
I can't relate. I don't know.
All right.
Time for me to find a partner. There's still time for me to do whatever. You know, who knows what this year could bring. 2020 is going to be an amazing year. You know, it's better than 2019. It's such a lovely number, clear vision. And then 2020
Yo, we grossing out disagreeable, man.
It don't matter, because guess what just happened? Remember she said she would make love and then the stuff would come out. Remember she said that?
I didn't catch that part.
Well, she said she had a boyfriend, and when they would do it, it would bleed, right?
Oh.
Now she's saying she's looking for love. So that nigga left her.
Right.
Let's go.
You know, we all know what the hell happened then. So my periods remained the same. They remained crazy. And I then had an epiphany that I can't wait for a partner. I cannot keep putting my life on hold, not hold, but keep putting this having children on hold because I'm waiting for someone to help me, because I know I need help, right? I know that it would be beneficial for me to have help. I know how hard it is to raise children, and to have somebody whose job it is to also help me rear and raise these kids would not only be best for them, but it would be best for me. I need time. I'm an introvert to a certain extent. I need like an hour or two a day of nobody talking to me so that I could like rejuvenate. And when you have children, you really can't have that, you know? So I was really thinking about my mental health and everything when it comes to that. But then I thought about the fact, like, what if I reach 42 and I don't meet somebody? There's too many factors that can stop me from doing what I want. And so what am I waiting for? So I made the decision that I was just going to be a single mom, and I was going to go to the sperm bank and get some sperm.
Oh, what leaping? Oh, this how it happened.
Go ahead, man. She took me for a loop right there, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, that was a hard left turn at 90 miles an hour.
But you see what that's built on, right? That's built on not being able to parabond with a man, wanting shit your way, knowing that your pussy ain't worth a damn, and the man has the option to run away, as most men did. She don't want to be bothered.
She gonna have somebody to love her at the end of the day.
Bro, told you disagreeable shouldn't have left. Told you.
Yo, Bernie's in the chat though.
I know, but he too late. She just called, said I gotta come down and bring up groceries.
Hey, get on your job, man. Take the umbrella if it's
Yo,
raining.
hold on. Don't try to run my people away just yet. Somebody might hit the cash app. Platt said that's some bullshit. He said what you said, Plain. Plain, do I show you some of the most sinister shit with box?
I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. I mean, it's kind of like, I grew up in a hood matriarchy. These women.
You can't just give me my credit.
I give you credit, but I'm saying like, okay. Long story short, I always suspected this, but now I got proof.
Hold on, she coming in, man. I'll be back, man.
Praise Jesus.